All right, so I'm going to start my drawing. Let's see. This is really sharp, which is great for detail areas, but not so great for filling in areas with a lot of tone. Flatten it out just a little bit. Get some of that graphite off of there. That's better. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my darkest area first. Basically, what we're looking at is two different kinds of blending or application or drawing with graphite. I'm going to show you, this is overlapping strokes. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just lightly going over the top of that, that area. And if you notice in my original, this is pretty dark. It's not black, but it's pretty dark. Pretty close to black. So I'm going to keep going over the top of this. That's overlapping strokes. So I'm just overlapping the top of what I've already drawn. Basically what happens when you're drawing with graphite is you are dragging that pencil across the surface and the tooth or roughness of the paper is grabbing it. So I can see that I've got a little line here, the edge of that box. I'm going to stop it there and just make this whole area fairly dark. I'm just going to keep working this in and overlapping as I go. You don't want to go too hard. You want to do this softly, lightly, because if you go too hard, what you're going to do is you're going to press that graphite right into the paper and you're going to kind of indent it. So that's how you do overlapping strokes. Now, if you notice in my original, the edges are real soft because this object isn't right up against the shadow. So how do I blend that? Well, I'm going to use a Q-tip, right? So I take this and I go like this, and it smooths it out. And you notice that on the edge, I can soften that up and get a nice soft shadow edge to that. One thing that I want you to be aware of is that we don't want to have any lines. If you look at my original, there aren't any lines on that edge. There's a contrast between this dark form and this light negative space or background area. And that's what's going to define the edge of my forms. When you're trying to draw realistically, we don't want to see those outlines. When I say outlines, I mean outer contours or any lines on the edge of forms. There you go, that's pretty good. It's actually darker in the original. Now I'm looking at the edges of it and I'm thinking, hey, that's kind of rough there. So I can use my plastic eraser. So I'm using blending here. I'm blending with a Q-tip, and I used overlapping strokes to apply my my graphite.